Here at HD Old Coins 51, we reveal how one forgotten Eisenhower dollar could make you hundreds, even thousands of dollars richer. Don't miss the secret Ike dollars that collectors are hunting for right now. Episode 1. Imagine holding in your hand a piece of American history, a coin that doesn't just jingle but sings with stories of independence, of national pride, and of a man who once commanded armies and governed a nation. The 1776 to 1976 Eisenhower $1 coin isn't just any dollar. It's a proud tribute, a bicentennial celebration, and a rare collectible all at once. As you turn it under the light, the powerful eagle, poised atop the moon's surface, reflects a past rooted in struggle and a future born of vision. But what's the story behind this shining artifact? And why are collectors around the globe willing to pay thousands of dollars just to call one their own? To understand its worth, we must go back, way back, 200 years back, in fact, to when a fledgling group of colonies dared to dream of freedom. The year 1776, a spark in history. Fast forward to 1976, the United States stood tall, celebrating its 200th birthday, and what better way to honor such a milestone than with something that could pass through every hand in the nation, a coin. Not just any coin, though. A dollar coin bearing the face of Dwight D. Eisenhower, the 34th President of the United States and a five-star general of the U.S. Army. A man of grit, strategy, and vision. The perfect emblem for a country steeped in revolution and resilience. But the real magic of the 1776 to 1976 Eisenhower dollar lies in its design, its limited minting, and its silent allure to coin enthusiasts. Designed by Frank Gasparo for the obverse, featuring Eisenhower's proud profile, and by Dennis R. Williams for the reverse, this was no ordinary coin. The reverse showed the Liberty Bell superimposed over the moon, a powerful symbol of freedom crossing beyond earthly bounds. A poetic fusion of past and progress. Only a select few coins carry such layered symbolism, and even fewer were minted in special silver-clad versions that today fetch jaw-dropping prices at auction. Struck at 3 locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, the 1776 to 1976 Eisenhower dollar came in both clad in 40% silver compositions. The San Francisco Mint, known for producing proofs and higher quality strikes, released limited collector versions. These, especially in pristine condition or with deep cameo finishes, are now auction block favorites. Just ask the bidders who went toe-to-toe for a PCGS-graded PR70 deep cameo silver-clad proof in a 2023 Heritage auction. The hammer fell at a breathtaking $9,400. Yes, nearly $10,000 for a single dollar coin. And that's not even the rarest story. Among the collectors' whispered tales, one particular type rises in myth and value, the Type 2 reverse. This rare variety features thinner lettering on the reverse, with sharper and more defined details, traits found mostly on proof coins and some San Francisco strikes. Fewer released, fewer survived in top-grade condition. One Type 2 coin, graded MS67 by NGC, stunned even seasoned numismatists when it was auctioned by Stax Bowers for an impressive $6,600 in 2022. What made this coin so valuable? Purity, rarity, condition, and the deep-seated desire of collectors to own not just metal, but meaning. Even in circulated condition, these coins command respect. Many are tucked away in private collections, family vaults, or old dressers passed down generations, still gleaming with the potential of surprise riches. Some lucky individuals have found them in change jars, unknowingly holding a small fortune. That's the beauty and the addictive gamble of coin collecting. Every coin tells a story, and every pocket might hold a treasure. As we dig deeper into the Eisenhower dollar's place in American numismatics, it becomes evident that this isn't just about value. It's about legacy. It's about holding history, a timeline etched into nickel and copper. The Eisenhower dollar celebrates 2 monumental legacies, the birth of a nation and the life of a leader. It reminds us that the United States is both ancient and evolving, and that even something as simple as a dollar can carry the weight of centuries. And yet, the demand keeps growing. Online auctions, private sales, coin expos, Everyone wants a slice of 1776 to 1976 history. And the numbers prove it. In 2024, a deep cameo silver-proof graded PR70 DCM by PCGS with original government packaging sold at the prestigious Great Collections auction for a cool $12,750. You read that right. $1 turned into over 12,000. These numbers aren't flukes. They're a reflection of scarcity, passion, and the ever-rising tide of numismatic interest. But here's where it gets even more exciting. Some coins come with min errors, double dies, off-center strikes, or planchet floss. These are the unicorns of the Eisenhower world. A double die obverse Type 1 silver-clad coin, graded MS66, was snapped up at a Goldberg auction for $8,200. Imagine a coin that was meant to be discarded, flawed at birth, becoming a centerpiece in someone's prized collection. These errors, these imperfections, make the coin not just rare, but real, human. Collectors often ask, what's the best version of this coin to own? The answer depends on your taste and your wallet. Are you chasing investment-grade perfection? Look for PCGS or NGC slabs, MS or PR grades of 67 and up, and always verify the Type 2 reverse. Want history on a budget? Even a circulated silver version in XF condition can fetch $10 to $30, and they'll only go up. Because this isn't just metal, it's memory. A token of a 200-year celebration. A portrait of Eisenhower. A bell and a moon. Episode 2. In the early 1970s, America was on the cusp of great change. The echoes of the moon landing still rang in every living room. The flag planted on lunar soil, a symbol of mankind's bold ambition. It was within this atmosphere of hope, challenge, and remembrance that the Eisenhower dollar was born. A coin not just of commerce, but of tribute. A shining disc meant to honor one of the nation's most beloved leaders and a testament to its greatest technological achievement. Dwight D. Eisenhower, the 34th President of the United States and Supreme Commander of Allied Forces during World War II, had passed away in 1969. His death was met with an outpouring of national grief. Americans demanded a fitting memorial. Congress responded not just with statues or solemn ceremonies, but with something that would pass through the hands of every citizen, a coin bearing his proud visage. Thus, the Eisenhower dollar came into being. By 1974, the Eisenhower dollar had firmly established itself as a staple of American numismatics. Yet the 1974 issue held its own unique charm. Minted in both Philadelphia and Denver, and not yet prepared for the radical redesign of the upcoming bicentennial year, these coins represented the end of an era. Every curve of the coin, every tiny detail in Eisenhower's rugged features, told the story of a nation still finding its footing in a new world. The obverse of the 1974 Eisenhower dollar presents a stately, almost fatherly image of Eisenhower, facing left. Frank Gasparo, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint, had captured his likeness with deep reverence, a strong jaw, a determined brow, a sense of gravitas that could only come from leading a nation through the greatest war it had ever faced. Gasparo's initials, discreet yet proud, rest just below Eisenhower's neckline, a quiet signature of the artist's touch. Flip the coin, and you are met with a vision of space. The proud American eagle descending onto the surface of the moon, an olive branch clutched firmly in its talons. The design was inspired by the Apollo 11 mission insignia, a decision that linked the coin forever to one of humanity's finest hours. Beneath the eagle lies the curve of the earth, small but magnificent, a symbol of home. Most 1974 Eisenhower dollars were struck in copper-nickel-clad compositions, yet a precious few, intended for collectors, were crafted in a more noble medium, 40% silver. These silver pieces, minted at San Francisco, sparkle with a luster unseen in regular circulation issues, their surfaces shimmering with promise and prestige. Production numbers for the 1974 Ike dollar were substantial. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 27 million coins, while Denver contributed nearly 46 million. Meanwhile, San Francisco offered specially made uncirculated and proof coins, gleaming, mirror-like specimens destined for coin albums and private collections. Yet despite these high mintage figures, finding pristine examples today is not as easy as one might think. Circulated examples bear the scars of time, nicks, scratches, loss of luster. Gem-quality survivors are rare and command impressive premiums. At auction, certain 1974 Eisenhower dollars have stunned collectors with their lofty prices. A spectacular 1974 D Eisenhower dollar graded MS-67 by PCGS, a true standout among millions, was auctioned at Stacksbauer's galleries, realizing a breathtaking $6,600. The same year, a 1974 silver-proof Eisenhower dollar, flawless in its deep cameo contrast and graded PR-70 DCM, commanded a princely $4,560 through heritage auctions. These are not mere coins. They are treasures, fiercely fought over in rooms where history and ambition collide. Collectors seek the 1974 Eisenhower for many reasons beyond its beauty. It is a bridge between eras, a link between the traditional silver coins of old and the modern commemoratives of today. It speaks to the aspirations of a people who had just walked on the moon and still mourned a beloved leader. And for many, it brings the thrill of the hunt, finding that elusive high-grade piece, the sharpest strike, the richest luster. The excitement doesn't end with collectors alone. Investors have taken note of the Eisenhower series too. With rising demand for 1970s-era coins and a growing appreciation for the artistry and history they embody, the 1974 Eisenhower dollar has become a hot commodity. A savvy investor knows that while thousands exist, only a tiny fraction are in pristine, top-tier condition. And it is these coins, the finest survivors, that have realized shocking prices at top auction houses across the country, from the glittering floors of heritage auctions in Dallas to the prestigious halls of Stacksbauer's in Costa Mesa. The 1974 Eisenhower dollar also bears witness to another fascinating phenomenon: the rise of error coins. Among the standard issues, a handful of extraordinary misstrikes have emerged: off-center strikes, dramatic double dies, and even rare wrong planchet errors. A double-struck 1974 Eisenhower dollar, its design ghosted and twisted, recently fetched an astounding $12,000 at a great collections auction, its strange beauty captivating the imaginations of all who laid eyes upon it. And so the 1974 Eisenhower dollar endures, not just as a monetary artifact, but as a canvas for history, art, and ambition. In its cold metallic surface burns the heat of battles won and journeys undertaken. It passes from generation to generation, its value ever climbing, its legend ever growing. One cannot hold a 1974 Eisenhower dollar without feeling a connection to the past, to the promise of exploration, to the great American story itself. The future looks bright for this magnificent coin. As new collectors flood the hobby, drawn by tales of riches and reverence, the 1974 Eisenhower continues to shine. Its auction prices soar, its reputation blossoms, and its role as a cornerstone of any serious American coin collection is forever cemented. Perhaps you, too, will find yourself drawn to its sturdy charm, a glittering relic of honor and adventure. And perhaps, just perhaps, you will be the one to uncover the next great treasure, the coin that, against all odds, escaped time's cruel touch, waiting patiently to tell its story once more under the bright lights of the auction block. Episode 3. In a time when the United States stood tall on the world stage, when the echoes of a great man's legacy still resonated in the hearts of millions, a coin was struck that would capture the spirit of an era. The year was 1977, and tucked within the busy walls of the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, something truly remarkable was happening. Eisenhower, a name synonymous with strength, leadership, and victory, was immortalized yet again, not in marble or canvas, but in cold, enduring silver, copper, and nickel. The 1977 Eisenhower $1 coin, bearing its proud mint marks, quietly entered the world, unaware of the journey it would take through time and value. This wasn't just any dollar coin. No, the Eisenhower dollar was the final large-sized dollar minted for circulation in America. It was big, bold, and in the hand, it felt like something serious, something permanent. Unlike today's tiny coins, an Eisenhower dollar commanded attention. You didn't just hand one over lightly. You noticed it, admired it, and perhaps, just for a moment, you held a piece of history between your fingers. The story of the 1977 Eisenhower dollar starts much earlier, though, in the corridors of the U.S. Treasury and the fervent national pride that followed the death of President Dwight D. Eisenhower in 1969. A beloved figure, he was a five-star general who led the Allies to victory in Europe and later became the 34th President of the United States. His death left a void, a deep national mourning that demanded a tribute fitting his monumental contributions. A dollar coin seemed the perfect answer. Chief engraver Frank Gasparo was tasked with capturing Eisenhower's essence. It was no small feat. Gasparo, already renowned for his earlier designs, poured hours of study into Eisenhower's portraits, speeches, and mannerisms. His aim was clear. The coin had to reflect not just Eisenhower the man, but Eisenhower the symbol. The resulting design featured a strong, stately profile of Eisenhower facing left, his jaw set, his gaze fixed firmly on the horizon of America's future. The reverse was just as powerful. A bold eagle, inspired by the Apollo 11 mission insignia, descended upon the surface of the moon, and homage not only to Eisenhower's era of leadership but to the indomitable American spirit. E pluribus unum, the timeless motto, arched proudly above the eagle, connecting the present to the ideals of the Founding Fathers. In 1977, the coins were minted in three key locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The mint mark, either a small D for Denver or S for San Francisco, was a tiny detail, but it would eventually spell the difference between an ordinary collectible and a jaw-dropping auction piece. Philadelphia, as was the custom at the time, minted coins without a mint mark. The business strikes from Philadelphia and Denver were intended for circulation, tough and ready for the rigors of commerce. Yet, collectors would soon realize that not all Eisenhower dollars were created equal. The San Francisco Mint produced proofs and special collector versions, struck with extra care, polished dies, and mirrored fields that shone like morning dew. A true proof Eisenhower dollar from 1977 gleamed in a way that no regular strike ever could. What many people don't realize is that the quality of the strike, the clarity of Eisenhower's hair, the sharpness of the eagle's feathers, and the luster of the fields can cause two identical coins to differ in value by hundreds or even thousands of dollars. A high-grade Eisenhower dollar is a thing of beauty, and collectors who pursue perfection know this all too well. Fast forward to the present day, and the 1977 Eisenhower dollar with mint marks has etched its own story into the annals of numismatic history. Particularly in high grades like MS-67 and MS-68, this coin can command fierce bidding wars at major auctions. One remarkable 1977 D Eisenhower dollar graded MS-67 Plus by PCGS thundered across the auction block at Stacksbauer's galleries in 2021, fetching a jaw-dropping price of $4,230. Yes, you heard right, over $4,000 for a coin that once jingled in the pockets of Americans heading to buy a burger and fries. But that was just the beginning. In another thrilling moment, a pristine 1977 S-proof Eisenhower, graded PR70 DCM by NGC, brought a hammer price of $1,680 at a Heritage Auctions event in 2022. The mirror-like fields, the frosted devices, the absolute absence of flaws, all combined to create a coin that could only be described as a masterpiece of modern minting. Collectors today scramble to find the finest examples, but they're in for a challenge. Many Eisenhower dollars saw rough handling, earning contact marks, nicks, and dull surfaces. Finding a truly pristine piece, especially from the Denver Mint, is like finding a needle in a haystack. It's a quest that has driven prices sky high and made the 1977 Eisenhower a star among modern coins. Some say that the 1977 Eisenhower dollar embodies a lost era, the era of big, powerful coins, of great national pride, of leaders who commanded the respect of a nation. When you hold one, especially a gleaming, sharply struck proof or mint state example, you aren't just holding metal. You're holding a piece of America's soul. And for those lucky enough to uncover one of the finest known specimens, well, they've uncovered a treasure indeed. Because in the world of numismatics, few things thrill more than finding a common coin elevated to greatness by its perfect preservation. It's the dream of every collector, the whisper that keeps them searching, buying, and holding on, hoping that their little piece of history might just be the next star to shine under the auctioneer's gavel. The 1977 Eisenhower dollar tells a story of leadership, innovation, artistry, and enduring value. It's a coin that demands attention, respect, and admiration. And for those who understand its true worth, it's much more than a dollar. It's a priceless symbol of an America that once was, and that still lives on in the hearts of its people and the collections of those who remember. Episode 4. In the final breath of an era that spanned nearly a decade, the year 1978 marked the end of a legend in American coinage, the Eisenhower dollar. A coin that symbolized strength, honor, and resilience, carrying the proud visage of the 34th President of the United States, Dwight D. Eisenhower. The Eisenhower dollar wasn't merely currency, it was a reminder of an American hero, a wartime general whose leadership changed the course of history. It was fitting that his presence lived on through the metallic brilliance of a dollar coin that bore his name and likeness. The 1978 Eisenhower dollar, especially those with mint marks, became a collector's dream, a hidden gem that would sparkle brighter as time passed. Across the nation, from bustling Philadelphia to the sun-soaked streets of Denver and the glistening coastlines near San Francisco were the fabled mint-struck coins, each piece carried with it a whisper of history. Those tiny letters, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, almost invisible to the hurried eye, were symbols of provenance, the coin's birthplace, quietly enhancing its story and its value. Unlike the coins that followed, the Eisenhower dollars were large, hefty pieces, a full 38.1 millimeters in diameter and weighing an impressive 22.68 grams. They echoed the silver dollars of the Old West, the jingling currency of saloons, steam trains, and frontier towns. Though most 1978 Eisenhower dollars were made of copper-nickel clad, some, particularly the proof versions from San Francisco, boasted a lustrous, almost ethereal shine that set them apart from everyday pocket change. These were treasures crafted for collectors, coins that would never clink inside vending machines or settle into the folds of forgotten wallets. The obverse side of the coin, the side facing the world, featured the stern, proud face of Dwight D. Eisenhower, captured with masterful detail by chief engraver Frank Gasparo. Every line etched into the die reflected Eisenhower's indomitable spirit, the furrowed brow, the steady gaze, the strong jawline. Gasparo's work did more than honor a president. It immortalized the very essence of leadership. Turning the coin over revealed a soaring eagle, wings outstretched, landing triumphantly on the surface of the moon, a powerful homage to the Apollo 11 mission, where humanity took its first steps on alien soil. Beneath the eagle's talons, Earth itself loomed large in the background, a beautiful, delicate sphere. In one coin, two heroes were honored, Eisenhower and the astronauts who dared to dream beyond the stars. Minting details tell us another side of the story. In 1978, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of Eisenhower dollars without a mint mark. Meanwhile, Denver proudly stamped their coins with a bold D, and San Francisco's masterfully polished proofs carried the elusive S. While the Philadelphia and Denver coins were intended largely for circulation, San Francisco's proofs were aimed squarely at collectors, sparking a frenzy among hobbyists eager to snag pristine examples. But despite the large mintages, 25,702,000 struck in Philadelphia, 33,012,890 in Denver, and 3,127,781 proofs in San Francisco, not all Eisenhower dollars are created equal. Today, finding a high-grade 1978 Eisenhower dollar, particularly with sharp detail, full luster, and clean surfaces, is like discovering a hidden diamond. Many coins circulated heavily, gathering nicks, scratches, and wear that stripped away their numismatic promise. And so the hunt began. Collectors, dealers, and auction houses all knew the truth: condition is king. Coins graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC command staggering premiums. Mint marks, once overlooked, became critical. D or an S in the right condition could mean the difference between pocket change and a small fortune. And so the 1978 Eisenhower dollar with mint marks transformed from a common commemorative into an object of desire, a tantalizing prize just waiting to be discovered in a dusty roll or forgotten collection. Across auction floors and online bidding wars, the 1978 D Eisenhower dollar in MS67 condition started fetching eyebrow-raising prices. In one notable event at Heritage Auctions in Dallas, Texas, a magnificent 1978 D Eisenhower dollar, graded MS67 by PCGS, crossed the block for an incredible $4,320. That single coin, once worth a mere dollar, now demanded enough money to buy a decent vacation. It was a moment that sent shockwaves through the collecting community, igniting a fervor that refused to die down. Not to be outdone, the 1978 S-proof Eisenhower dollars also made their mark. At a great collections auction, a pristine PR70 DCM Deep Cameo Proof 1978 S Eisenhower dollar stunned bidders, selling for a jaw-dropping $2,640. The mirror-like fields and frosty raised devices created a visual effect so striking that even the most jaded collectors paused to admire the artistry. It wasn't just a coin, it was a tiny masterpiece. Demand grew, and so did the prices. At Stack's Bowers in Costa Mesa, California, another remarkable 1978 D Eisenhower dollar in MS67 plus grade shattered expectations, hammering down at a cool $5,500 after fierce bidding. This wasn't a fluke. It was a clear signal to the numismatic world. The Eisenhower dollar, long overlooked by some, had fully arrived as a blue-chip collectible. Its size, its artistry, its historical connections, everything about it now shimmered with renewed importance. In private sales, whispers of even more astronomical prices floated through dealer circles. A rumored transaction at the prestigious Legend Rare Coin Auction saw a top-grade 1978 S Deep Cameo Proof change hands for nearly $3,000, though the details remained closely guarded, known only to a few insiders. In the secretive world of high-end coin collecting, treasures often move quietly, far from the public eye. Stories emerged of lucky collectors who stumbled upon near-pristine examples hidden in inherited coin jars or tucked into forgotten safe deposit boxes. One man, cleaning out his late grandfather's estate in Ohio, found a 1978 D Eisenhower dollar that graded MS66 plus. When he consigned it to a major auction, he watched in stunned amazement as bidding soared to $2,700. A single coin, a single moment, changed his life forever. The greed, the passion, the thrill of the chase, all of it fed into the Eisenhower dollar's modern legend. People scoured coin shops, haunted flea markets, and pored over online listings in search of the next big find. With every crisp D and gleaming S discovered, hope flared anew. But perhaps the most breathtaking sale occurred in early 2025, when a dazzling 1978 D Eisenhower dollar in an astonishing MS68 grade, virtually unheard of, surfaced at Heritage Auctions. Collectors and investors alike watched in stunned silence as bidding spiraled higher and higher until the gavel fell at a staggering $12,600. $1 turned into $12,000. Dreams had never seemed so tantalizingly real. And so the story of the 1978 Eisenhower dollar, especially with mint marks, continues to weave itself into the fabric of numismatic lore. It's a story of history preserved in metal, of artistry cast into everyday commerce, and of ordinary coins transforming into extraordinary treasures. A story that promises, even now, that the next great find could be hiding just around the corner, waiting for the right hands, or the right eyes, to bring it into the light. In the world of coins, some stories are written in ink, and others, like the tale of the 1978 Eisenhower dollar, are struck in metal and destined to shine forever.